Cheetah here. In case you don't know me, that's what I go by. I'm so excited to teach you guys today. The last 2 years, Mary Kay has asked me to teach the men. And so my husband and I, the last 2 seminars in a row, have taught the spouses classes. So I'm so glad to be with the sales directors, although we did have fun in the spouses class. So my topic today is rise up and retain. And when I first got it, I thought, is that exciting? Sometimes you hear the word retention, and it does, just like Kelly was talking and she focused on growth, that's exciting. But wouldn't it be nice that if you got 5 to 10 new consultants this month, that your number actually grew instead of stayed the same, or even went down because 5 or 10 left the unit at the same time 5 or 10 were coming in? And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And so what I did is I got up and I thought, you know what, let me look at my own unit. Because I have been in Mary Kay a long time, you guys. This will be 39 years in September. And I thought, who has been in the longest in my unit? So there's a little report that says, it's a career path report, and you can see where everybody joined and a lot of different facts about it. So just to tell you a little bit. Okay, our unit size right now is 257 people. So 3 of the women in my unit have been in the company over 50 years. 1, 48 years, 2, 40 years. Those 6 ladies, in case you're wondering, how does she have people in her unit longer than she's been in? They came to me when my national sales director retired in 1991, and they have been with me ever since, okay? I have 18 women in my unit that have been in from 30 to 39 years. I have 28 that have been in from 20 to 29 years, and 46 have been in from 10 years to 19 years. So if you look at that, that is 98, almost 100 people in my unit that have been in over 10 years. And so I was really shocked and also kind of proud of it. I'm like, I'm so thankful. And you know, some of the thing about when keeping these women in your unit, and men too these days, I guess, is that you become friends with them. You end up doing life with them. Mary Kay Ash used to always say, don't recruit anybody you wouldn't want a room with at seminar. And so we kind of look at that so that we recruit our friends. We recruit people that we want to do life with, that we want to do trips with, that we want to get together with. And so when those friendships form, that's when that unit they don't want to miss out and they want to stay in. And so anyway, I'm going to go on through some tips. I do think that if you don't get anything else of what I'm fixing to say, is that if you teach your people to love the products, love the company, you're going to love them, they'll love you, and love each other, they will stay in Mary Kay. Okay, so if I don't say anything else, that's something you can remember. But I got a couple things to say. I did look at one other thing, and I thought this was very interesting. So 47 of those women that have been in all that time have have at one time or the other been a red jacket in my unit. 47 of those women. 33 had been a senior consultant or above. So that's about 80 people of the unit members that I now have at one time or the other have been in red or been a senior consultant or above. And I thought, Mary Kay always used to say that people that sign up somebody stay in, because now it's not just about them, it's the example that they have set for the girl that they just brought in the company. Does that make sense? When you sign up somebody, all of a sudden you kick up your game and you are a better consultant yourself, even as a sales director. So that's something to think about. And it's just interesting, even with just one person, they don't want to terminate. Y'all agree? I mean, it makes a difference, right? So, and just for those of you that maybe have had a director that is no longer a director in your unit, she stepped down and she's back in your unit. Maybe you've had 1 or 2. I won't do a show of hands, but I'll just tell you that I have 15 ladies in my unit that are former directors. And some of them are 70 and 80 years old. They just choose not to work at that level anymore. They're retired and they just, spending time with their grands. And not that you can't, because a lot of ladies in here are probably 70, 80 years old. But I'm so thankful for those ladies because they still love Mary Kay. and they still love me, and I still love them, and they still feel valued, even though they don't. A lot of them do, but some of them do not participate in like the calls and things like that. But they love our unit. On June 30th, I had one of the former directors of my unit, call me, and she said, "Hey, I'm going to do one more order for the team. You know, where are we at?" And so you think that they don't even look at anything you're putting out, but they actually are looking at it. And they still love you, and they still love your unit, and they still love Mary Kay. And so think about that when someone does come back to your unit. Make sure it's a warm, welcome place to come back, and that they still feel very valued in your unit. Because listen, and I usually say, you know, they've done more than, you know, if there's 15 of them that used to be a director, they've done more than 240 people in my unit, right? So they're very valuable to me, and I want to make sure they feel that way. So there's 3 types of places that you want to really, you want to keep in, what am I saying? Retention, okay. You want to make sure they stay. One is your team members, your unit members, and your offspring retention. Customer retention is the second one, and then career path title retention. So we're just going to talk about a few of those. So the first thing is the new beauty consultants that come in your unit. Kelly did a great job of that. I told her, I said, "Girl, you did really good. We think alike." And so thank you for that, Kelly. The first thing is the first 6 weeks of a new beauty consultant is how you engage her with your unit. And so I'm going to go over some of the things I've done. Some of them are very similar to Kelly's as well. And so, but have you guys ever had someone that sign up? Let's think back to March, okay? The recruiting frenzy. Did you ever have anybody that signed up for $10 in March and like you never saw them again? Like you have a name, you really have not got a hold of them. They're just, you know, they're in, but they're probably, when March comes around again, they'll be out, right? So wouldn't it be nice to engage people so when they come in, you actually can get to know them? So these are a couple of things that I do that help them keep excited about Mary Kay. First of all is connect with them as soon as possible. Some of these ladies you don't know at all. You know, they signed up under a beauty consultant in your unit, and you just see the name pop up, and then you call them. You call the consultant that signed them up, and you try to get a little information about them. And one of the trainings that I think we need to do is on our consultants is say, as soon as you sign someone up, you need to call me. You know, I mean, I'll see the email eventually, but you call me and let's set up a time for the 3 of us to talk together, because she doesn't know me at all. And even though I'm her sales director, I'm a stranger. And it's so much easier if that consultant connects you with her new girl. So you're going to connect with them as soon as possible. I like to do it over Zoom. And whether the new beauty consultant, the recruiter can get on there with me or not, if she can't, I just do it by myself. But I would rather have the 3 of them on there. But I like to do Zoom or FaceTime so I actually can see them if they're not a local consultant to me. So I get them on Zoom, I just say, and that, honestly, as soon as you get them on Zoom, it tells a lot, doesn't it? I mean, you can see who they are, what they look like, some about their environment, and I say, tell me about yourself, and I don't know anything about you. And what's been funny is lately, some of the women that have joined my unit, they know me, this is personal team members, they know me because somehow they found me on YouTube, and they've been watching me, and so they feel like we're already friends, which is pretty awesome. But so then I have to find out about them and get to know them and write down a few things about, what they used to. I always want to know if they work or if they don't work, what they used to do, what was their former profession or their current profession, and about how much time they want to spend with their Mary Kay business. And don't take that kind of lightly, because they may say, oh, I'm doing it for a discount, but later the Mary Kay fever might get on them, like it did me, and they may end up being some of your best consultants that you've had. So I find out a little bit about them. I like to do this call if I can, like if it's on Zoom, if possible, sometimes right before my unit meeting, so that they can just stay on the Zoom. This happened to me last week. It was so great. I did 30 minutes before my unit meeting. I did a new consultant orientation call with a gal. And then I said, just stay on here because we're fixing to have a unit meeting. And then I introduced her to everyone that came on the call. And I had her, and I had all of them, I don't do this every single time, but I said, everybody just tell who you are, how long you've been in Mary Kay, what you did before. And then she felt like she knew some people in my unit now. And so then I built her up what she did, and I said, tell us why you signed up, Sherry. And then so she told everybody. And you know what? Sherry ended up coming in and became Great Start qualified and very active in chat. And one of the things that I do, you guys, I did this about 2 years ago, is I love Voxer, but I found that some of my unit members just, I don't know why, they just won't download Voxer app. Okay, I don't know if it's memory on their phone or what, but every single one of them have Facebook just about. So we have a Facebook Messenger group for my unit. And it is a fun, interactive group. When I get them on there, like as soon as they sign up, I put them on there. Now some leave, and I don't get my feelings hurt. Some just, that is fine, you know? And I tell them, I say, if it's too much, you can leave the group, you can still stay in the unit. And so, but that Messenger group is so active. Like even at seminar, I just post pictures of what we're doing and saying we miss y'all. And then all the ones that aren't at seminar are chatting on there with and without me. It's so great, and she feels a part immediately. And one of the things I do is I put a picture of her, like when someone joins, I add her to the group, and then I do a little welcome picture, and I put it on my Facebook group too, but I put it in that Messenger group. And as soon as I put it on there, my unit members have been trained, and I'm working on this, to say, welcome, Sherry, so glad to have you in the unit. You're in the best unit, Mary Kay. I mean, like things like that. And then she starts chatting back, thank you, I'm so happy to be here. And immediately, within the first day she signs up, she feels welcome. And y'all know, just like church, when you go in a new church, if you feel welcome and people feel friendly, you will go back. If you feel awkward and unwelcome, you'll look for another church sometimes. Is that right? And so I really have tried to make these gals feel more engaged. And I put a little bit about them, like, this is Sherry from Oklahoma. We're so happy to have her. She found me on YouTube, y'all, and signed up. And then that's kind of funny, right? And so then they talk about it on there. So I think engaging with them and making them feel welcome at the get-go is one way to kind of connect them to you and your unit and your community. Also, I took the time to do a new consultant orientation video right after the new In Touch came around. And I just cover Great Start, I cover the welcome packet, and I cover inventory and the next steps. It's about 20 minutes long, and I made myself do it, y'all. You know how like you're like, I need to do that. I just made myself get on Zoom and do the thing. And then as soon as they sign up, I send them that video and I say, hey, this is a new consultant orientation video. It's not that long. If you will listen to it before we talk on Zoom, then you'll have some questions and write them down. This has helped me a lot so that when I go over inventory, it's not the first time they've heard it and they're in like sticker shock when someone says $3,600, you know. And so someone recently said, why do I have to buy product to get a job? I said, okay, well, you're not getting a job, you're an independent beauty consultant. So, you know, we had to people don't always know how we do it in Mary Kay, right? And so that little new consultant inventory video has really helped me get that going with them a little bit quicker. Also, I do still mail a little welcome packet. I used to mail a big welcome packet, but I do still mail something. I mail their new consultant pin, I mail a business card, a few samples, and a little welcome letter from me, and some of the schedule of what we do in our unit. So I try to get that out like a couple of days after they sign up. I did go over the Mary Kay modules to do my MK Confidence, In Analyzer app, and things like that to get them going. Also, just to make sure they get that personal website set up and their ProPay set up. If people get hooked up on that website, I've had so many of my unit members get on there, and then when it gets to what is your, the thing that says Facebook, Instagram, all the different things, and they don't know what to put there, they stop. And then they don't finish putting up their website. So I've learned to say, listen, when you get to that stuff, leave it blank. I'll come back later and do it if you want to do that. It's not that important. Let's just get the things set up. Let's get your ProPay set up so that you can get orders off your website as well, And so if you've done a launch party and they don't have those things set up, it's a little more difficult, then you got to backtrack, right? So there's a report to see if they've set it up as well. You can just pull up the report on group information, and there it says ProPay. I don't know if it says ProPay, but I know it says website, and you can see if they've done it or not. I also do have a virtual assistant who sends out texts and emails and welcomes as well and keeps on that. But the main thing I want her to know is that I'm here for her. I am her sales director, whether I recruited her or not, and that she can call me or she can text me, and I say I'm easy to get a hold of. I said, and don't worry about bothering me, because at night I turn my ringer off. So you're not gonna wake me up. You wanna text me at 3, go ahead. I'm not gonna text you back, but you can certainly ask me a question at 3 o'clock in the morning. And then when I get up, I will answer you. But I said, I will answer you in a reasonable time, and I want you to know that I'm here for you. I want you to be successful, in whatever way that you wanna be there. So, let's move to team building for just a minute. Just like when I was telling you before that all the women that stayed in my unit that even just have one, I think it's helpful to get them to have a team member off the get-go, like as soon as you can. And I do those calls as well, like Kelly does, the PPCs. I call them Pearl Girl calls because I use the pearl necklace and the bracelet and the earrings as an incentive for the consultant to get the people on the call. And so where they ask the questions, and I think that's a great way. You can do them one-on-one, you can do them as a group even. You could have her get 5 people on a Zoom call and do them all at the same time. And your goal is to get bookings for, your goal is to get a team member for. Because even just that one, and the thing is, one of the ones she might recruit could be like her sister, her cousin, her mom, these are gonna be her good friends that get on it at first, right? Where she couldn't see mom selling Mary Kay. She may be 20 and mom may be 40, or she may be 40 and mom may be 60, and that's where I am, and I'm like, Mom, you need to get in this and do this with us, And so I think that's so helpful at the beginning to try to get that first team member. And then when they do, you guys, talk about career path retention, you want to get them 2 or 3 more right behind her and explain to her what active means so that she will know what a senior consultant is. Because y'all know if they have 10 recruits and no one ever ordered, it's a little discouraging that she's not even a senior consultant in the Mary Kay world, right? So we really have to explain that to them so they understand about active, inactive, and how to stay there. And so if you want to get them in red as soon as possible, as soon as they get that one, say, let's get you 2 more and get you in red. And then of course, when you get them in red, I usually go over a little thing and I say, listen, have you ever gone inactive in Mary Kay where you didn't order in 3 months? And most of them have at some point. I say, well, your unit members, your team members may do that too. They're not gonna order every single month. 1 out of 3 usually orders. It's a third. So you're gonna wanna get more than 3 people so that you can always stay in that red jacket and not go up and down. So let's go ahead and get you 2 or 3 more so that you're not having to put pressure on people that maybe just signed up to sell to their mom and their sister, right? And so that's something that's a conversation that you can have with them. Same thing with team leader, etc. Just like your unit is the same as mine, and with my unit, my goal every month is for my unit to have 40% order. Because the average is 30, and I usually sometimes try to go to 50%, but I actually look at the number every month and I say, how many of my unit was 40% of that? And I go, this is the goal for us to order, how many people order in the month. And I do a cash drawing for that. That's just a side note. Okay, let's talk about systems a minute. Systems need to be established for a unit so that everyone in your unit gets something. And you're gonna work just like Kelly said, with the few, and the ones that are going for things, but every single person needs to feel valued in your unit, and that's why they're gonna stay. And that's what those systems do. It's important to build trust with your unit members, and it takes time. And it takes time by you being consistent and be a woman of your word, and when you offer a promotion, you actually send the prizes out on a timely basis. And so that they believe what you say. When you set up events, you actually hold them. When you say you're gonna hold them. Things like that help your consultants trust you as their leader, and that they know that they can count on you. Don't y'all agree with that? Just like when we look at the people that are leading us, we want to be able to trust them and we want to be able to count on them. So I want to give you a little hope that if you have a larger unit, not larger, but even an older unit, and like people that you don't have a lot of people engaging maybe in your Zoom calls or things like that, and you think they don't care, no one even looks at my stuff, I don't even know why I'm doing this. Okay, every now and then you send them a text and you say, like, let's say it's Thanksgiving or something, happy Thanksgiving. I am really thankful for you. Thank you for being in my unit. Merry Christmas. I think about you as one of the greatest gifts that's been in my unit. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, whether and you do the different things about the different moms. You have a mom, you are a mom, things like that. Well, anyway, I do little texts like that. I use Project Broadcast to do it. And I'm always surprised where some of the consultants that never, ever, ever say anything, they never, ever, ever get on a call, will say, thank you so much. You're the best director. I thank you for everything you do for us. And I thought, I have not, and I scroll back, I'm like, she has not said one single thing to me in a year. But it's a one-way communication. But you know what? She knows I'm there and she reads it, but just because she don't comment does not mean she doesn't see it. So I want to encourage you to not grow weary in well-doing. That's in the Bible, right? Because in the end, you will reap a harvest. So you just keep putting the good love out there, and they are looking at it every now and then. And even some of my talk people, they see it's for me, and they kind of glance. Sometimes they tell me this. They go, well, I know you probably already told us that, so I don't read everything you send me. I'm like, all right, girl. So you got to get your feelings off your shoulders about that for sure. So you keep putting it out there. And so when I say systems, you want to have systems so that women know when they're fixing to be inactive, when they're fixing to be terminated, like T status, or when they're fixing to be all the way out. And especially if they have team members, when they're fixing to lose those team members. I've had that happen before. Someone had 5 or 6 team members and she did not order. And I told her, she still didn't order, and then the next month she ordered. I'm like, why in the world would you want to lose 6 team members? But she really wasn't concerned about it. But there are some that are concerned about it and that are very upset that now so-and-so is not on their team even though they recruited them. So I think that communication is really good for you to keep on that, to know who's got recruits, who's fixing to lose them if they don't place an active order. And then at the beginning of the month is the best time to do that, you guys, so you can help them get that order together by helping them sell that month. Also, I do post pictures a lot in my Mary Kay Facebook group for my unit and the messenger group of their birthdays, their anniversaries with Mary Kay. And I coach my consultants, especially the ones that have been in a while. I say, hey, can you go on there and show some love to Susie Q? Because maybe no one has said anything. And I tag them on it so that they get that love. And in Mary Kay, we have a lot of friends, don't we? People are always saying stuff to us, but in the normal world, they don't have that. They do not have people that are commenting all the time on their things and saying nice things to them. So I do think that makes a difference of them wanting to stay in. And Facebook's a great way to do that. Okay, let's talk about being consistent in your events. I do 3 virtual events every single week. I think it's important that when you decide to do something, to keep doing it the same for at least, I can't put a date on it, but 3 to 6 months before you give it up and say, this isn't working for me. Because it takes time for the consultants to get used to what you're doing. So what I do, and you'll come up with yours, but I do my unit meeting on Zoom still. I have people all over the place, so I will never not do the unit meeting on Zoom. I love it because my out-of-town people now feel just a part of my unit as my in-town people. And so I do that on Monday nights. I actually had 2 of my adoptees became sales directors, and so they just stayed with me in their unit. So we have, I don't know, maybe 17, 18 people on there. It's not huge. I'm just telling you that in case you think that I have 55 people on my unit meeting. I don't. But I have a few, and I do stream it to YouTube, but I stream it unlisted because I don't think the whole public needs to see my unit meeting. And then I take that link and I post the unit meeting in our group page. Because some people, through their schedule or something else, can't get on the unit meeting, but at least they can go back and watch it. I used to stream into Facebook. Obviously, we can't do that anymore. So that's helpful too, to get your people together on a unit meeting every single week. And what do we do at the unit meeting? Recognition. I'd say put in the chat what you sold last week, how many bookings, who you talked, if you had any share calls or new team members. And then I recognize, usually at a unit meeting, you might recognize the top person. No, I recognize every single one of them. I'm like, Susie, how'd you sell $50? That's awesome. I'll let Susie tell me. Every single one of them that sold anything, if they sold a sponge tip applicator, I want to know, okay? I don't care, because you know what? I just want them to talk, and I want to hear from them, and I want everybody else to hear from them. And of course, the people that sold the most, it's great, because they train the unit on that. That's been really, really fun. And then that's at like 7:30. At 8 o'clock, I transfer into what I call my Boss Babe calls. And on that, I stop the stream, and then I start it over with YouTube, and I go public, because I have a lot of ladies that just like to watch it, and it's helpful to go public so I can share that video out with whoever needs it. Might help somebody somewhere along the road, right? And so on the Boss Babe call, that's totally training. And on the unit meeting, it's all like gallery view, everybody sees everybody. On the Boss Babe call is speaker view, where they see me or whoever is the trainer that night. And you might think, how can you think of something to train on every single solitary week? That's a good question, because sometimes about 5:30 that day, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to train on, and the Lord gives me something. I'm not kidding you. The Lord gives me something every week, and I'm like, that's what I'm going to train on. and sometimes it's to call on some of my other directors that are on there. Some of them are in here with me that do it with me, and I'm like, and I use them as the trainers as well. So I had that part of the training. And then the third virtual is once a week, we do this fun thing called What's in the Bag. You guys can do it. It's so fun. And I just have one of my former directors, a good friend of mine, and two other directors, well, the two adoptees that became directors, they do it with me. And we just do different products every single week. It's about 15 minutes. It used to be longer. But you know, on YouTube, I actually looked, and you can tell how long people watch a replay, and it's 15 to 18 minutes. So if you do an hour replay, I'm just telling you, they're not looking at it. Okay, so those are the virtuals. I do an in-person every other week. I do a girls' night out in person. I rent a hotel room, and we do facials, and so that is a way to connect with them there, and of course, build that camaraderie. I want to just say, you want to make sure that your women love the product. We did a training on brand loyalty recently, because women that love the product will stay in. And I actually surveyed several of my consultants that have been in 30, 40 years. And I said, why are you still in Mary Kay? Can you tell me? I got to teach a class. Of course, I thought they were going to say, because you're so awesome, Cleta. We love you so much. You're the best director. No, they said, because I love the product. I will never use anything but Mary Kay. And I have some loyal customers. So I'm telling you, if you have consultants that love it themselves, would you ever not be a consultant? No, right? We're not going to pay full price. But if you had a consultant that even has 5 to 10 customers, they will not quit. Because right when they feel like quitting, someone's going to say, can you bring me some cleanser? It's the truth. They tell me this. They go, I was going to quit last month, but then my aunt and my cousin said they needed some stuff, so I went ahead and placed a 600. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know, that is, if you want to make sure they love this product. And there's so many reasons to love it. I mean, who could not love Mary Kay, right? As far as keeping I'm running out of time, so let me just say, as far as keeping your customers, I think the biggest thing is customer service, and we need to teach it at least once a quarter to our unit members, customer service, and to make these customers not just a one-time sale, and to tell them, I want you to be my customer for life. 20 years from now, I want to be doing your daughter's wedding. You know, and I have customers that are like, I'm down to go and do the great grandkids right now, you know, because we got the new skincare line. So you want them to be customers for life. And that is how when you treat them like that, you become their friends. My customers are all my friends. I mean, I just love it. And so that's why it's easy to do quarter sales, because I got so many customers. And they always go, do you still sell? I'm like, I sure do. And I say you have to have easy ways to deliver, ship, pick up, and you have to have easy ways to pay. All the different ways people want to pay you. They say, what do you take? I go, anything you got. I said, I'll take your Sears cards if I can figure out how to do it. But anyway, easy to ship it, easy to deliver, and easy to pay. And so to end, I'll say this, you know, we all want unit members that stay, don't we? And we want our unit members to have a large customer base. We want to have a big, fat, juicy unit of independent beauty consultants. We want to build leaders in our unit who feel valued, don't we? As a senior consultant, even if they never want to be a sales director, they need to feel valued. as a beauty consultant, as a senior consultant, as a red jacket, team leader, and above. As a former, all of those things. Maybe they're a former red jacket. They still need to feel valued. We want to build leaders and rise them up to become sales directors. And I want you just to remember that you got to fall back in love with your unit. They don't work for you, they were a gift to you. And if we just remember that they're a gift, then you will always feel love in your heart for them instead of aggravation. Am I right? And so really think about that. And I'll end with a quote from Mary Kay. Here's a challenge. The challenge is to take your unit, and look at them and go through and say, who are these ladies I really don't even hardly know? Like I really don't know very much about them, that I can make some calls when I get home, make a list, 5 to 10 people, and say, I just want to connect with you. I know you've been in my unit 6 months, 10 years, whatever, but I really don't know you that well. And I just would like to get to know you a little bit better. No agenda, just to get to know them. And the second thing is maybe look and see who's been in the longest in your unit, and do a little something for the people that are the seasoned consultants in your unit, the veterans, okay? The OGs in your unit, right? Okay, Mary Kay Ash said in her 1986 management conference speech, we may want to succeed with all our hearts, we may learn everything there is to know about our careers, but unless we couple our knowledge and our enthusiasm with application, it will all be wasted. So I want to encourage y'all, I'm going to end this by saying bye-bye. And I shared this last night, but bye-bye stands for BYE, best year ever. So when I see you and we're leaving each other, I'm like, bye-bye. That means best year ever is what we're all going to have, right? Can I say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Thank y'all so much.
Started with it. Really, retention does start from the time we meet the person and bring them into the business. And we have found that the stats are true, just like Cleta was saying, that when they come in with a little bit of inventory and they recruit right away, they stay in the business longer. So, y'all, let's give Independent Sales Director Cleta Colson-Eyre another huge warm round of applause. Well, if you got up for a little break, you are just right on time, because we're going to have just a little break.